So I've been to Hamburg once before for NEC3, which is actually my first LAN 1v1 tournament, and so it's actually special to be coming back here because that was the first tournament where I actually did anything relevant as far as results for Age of Empires, and it's my second time here now, and I absolutely love the city. I think it's one of the most beautiful parts of Germany, and I can't wait to explore it in my free time.
What do you think about the venue?
The venue, upon first glance, is very impressive. I really like what's been set up here. I had no expectations coming in, for good or for bad, just because we're coming in and it's a new organization that we're dealing with, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Stage looks great. It's in a very nice location. It's on top of a store which is about electronics, games, very relevant. So no, I think it's fantastic, and it actually sets the mood for the event. So I'm very excited.
Tell us your AoE 2 journey, and then at the end, what is your favorite memory?
Ooh, well, we'll start with the favorite memory right away. Favorite memory by far, Red Bull, Willow El Reinado. Excellent event, and winning that in front of the crowd, raising the trophy, biggest tournament of my life, biggest win of my life. That was by far the most special AoE 2 moment for me. And as far as introducing myself to those who might not know me as well, I love Age of Empires. Been playing this since I was a kid, and it's really a childhood game for me. So not only am I a competitive player, but it's also I play it out of nostalgia as well. So I love the campaigns. I love playing for fun. I play, my brothers play as well from time to time. So for me, it's a game that defines my life, and I'm actually grateful that I'm able to do it full time for a living, and grateful to be able to compete in Age of Empires.
Patch notes just dropped. What are you the most excited about?
Ooh, the new patch looks absolutely epic. I think I'm very excited for the little things. I heard there's going to be new architecture, new castle designs, new just little little features that make the game a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm excited to explore those just from a more laid back perspective. And I'm also very eager to explore the new infantry changes. Infantry has been kind of down bad for years, maybe even decades now. And so I'm really excited to check out how the infantry is going to be going after the patch. So it's going to be a lot of videos from me and a lot of exploring for sure.
When a new patch drops, what do you see that? Do you just see excitement and curiosity to figure it out? But you are a pro player, so it's kind of you need to figure it out.
Yeah, so when a new patch drops for me, I have a mixed feeling, because on one hand, I'm just excited as a player to come in and just, oh wow, it's new stuff, and new stuff's always really cool. And then there's also the content creator / pro player side of things. We're oh, I need to rush to find the best strats. If there's a tournament coming up, I need to figure out what's good, what's bad, what's in the middle. And then I also use that experience to make some videos and kind of, just tell my audience, what kind of strategies that, they should be on the lookout for, what kind of new things that they can employ to get an edge on the ladder and edge in their own games. And so I love to find out what's good and pass it on to, my audience and my followers / supporters.
If you can talk to the devs directly, what's your most wanted feature?
Yeah, so if I can talk to the devs, I would say that I'd love, I don't know if this is realistic, but I'd love for them to remake some of the social features within the game. I believe wholeheartedly in Age of Empires 2, and I love the direction they're taking the game. The game's been going in an amazing direction. I agree with most changes. The new stuffs are fantastic. I just wish we could have a bit more of a social aspect within the game. I want to be able to message my friends in game. I want to be able to easily spectate other games, easily connect with other people in the game. And so far, you have to use third-party platforms to do any of that. So if I can speak with the devs, I would really put emphasis on that, and would love to see some changes in the future for that.
How can the devs or the tournament organizers or the community really attract more players and keep them?
Yeah, so I think to attract new players and or keep existing player base, first of all, I would say that they're doing a good job of keeping player base, that's for sure. And I think they do that by always creating new things, new campaigns, new civilizations that keeps the player base eager to play and happy. I think to attract new players, it's as far as what the devs can do is I think they can make the game free. Obviously, I understand it's a business. It's easy for me to say that, hard for them to commit to that. But I think that would bring a lot of new people in. Otherwise, I think they can invest into the content creators by giving us free codes to give away on our platforms, which is already something they do to some extent, and I'm taking advantage of that myself. And I think it's a very small way to grow. It's very micro scale, but sometimes the word of mouth and just giving away something for free will have that ripple effect to bring in new players. So I think going down either route of making the game free or to hand out some free copies can be a good way to get new people that are motivated to play and excited to play, who maybe just don't want to commit to it without a trial.
How many civs can you play at your highest level?
All of them. That's not something I struggle with at all. I play a random civ on my daily streams, so for me it's really I can play every civ to the highest level. And a few years ago, I would say that I have certain civs that are my comfort picks that I think that I have to stick with them. These days, I do prefer some civs over others, but I can play if this is the best. I'm playing it, and I'm playing it at the highest level. And that's just how I take myself as a competitor these days. Yeah, I mean, I like certain civs that give a lot of flexibility and a lot of options. So something like Burmese for me feel like they have everything you might need, and I think that they're a civilization that is very underappreciated. I mean, at this point, if you've followed me, you know that I'm a huge fan of the civ, and I think it's way better than people give it credit for. But I also think there's a bunch of other civs, something like Khmer, that just have, you can play them in so many different ways. Portuguese play them so many different ways that it just makes the civ very hard to deal with and to play against. And this is myself as a player. I can play all strategies. I can play all civs. So when I take a flexible civ that has access to multiple strategies, my opponents basically can't know what I'm going to go for. And that's really advantageous for me.
Do you have a favorite unit?
Ooh, my favorite unit, I think, is the Siege Onager. I have so many highlights about Siege Onagers just taking out armies, and it's probably one of my favorite things to do. I recently, 2 years ago, discovered a way where you can rapid fire Siege Onager shots to where it's virtually undodgeable. And since then, it's been my favorite unit. It's by far, I think it's the most broken unit in the game, but it's balanced because it's hard to get to. So when you get to it, it feels like a treat, and it feels like you can just enjoy yourself, and I love it.
Who's your ultimate 2v2 partner?
Ooh, yeah. So historically, my best 2v2 partner was probably Leary. We complemented each other really well because I was a calf player and he was an archer player. But I've since pivoted to an archer player myself. For no reason, I just like to play archers more. It's more fun. So I think I would be fitting perfectly in a 2v2 with someone like Doubt or Viper these days, because I think they are a good calf player, a good macro player, and I can handle the micro perfectly. So with the archers, so I think that would be either Viper if we're taking it seriously, and Doubt if we're trying to have fun.
What are the differences for you as a player for LAN versus online?
I love LAN events. No one knows this because I don't complain about it, but for online events, I'm consistently against Europeans playing with 80 ping more than them. So I play from Argentina, we play on a US server. They're playing from, usually West Europe. So they have something like 90 to 100 ping, and I'm playing at 170 ping. And I don't complain about it, but it makes it difficult, and it's not as flashy. What I can do, I'm limited. I can't micro, I can't do crazy plays. So I stick to keeping it simple and trying to make it work. LAN events, all the cards are on the table. Both playing at 0 ping, I love it. I feel I can do so much more, and I really get to express myself as a player way more in LAN events. So for me, I like the LAN event vibe for that reason. And I also am a huge fan of playing with a live audience. I think that brings that emotion part of esports. It brings it to a really heightened level. And for me, the psychological part of competing is just as important as the actual competition, the gaming part. So I love playing LAN events.
What do you think about this tournament seeding?
Yeah, I gave some feedback beforehand. I said the seeding looks a little off. I noticed, me versus Tato round 1 is not first seed versus last seed. I don't consider Tato to be last seed. Turns out that they couldn't figure out who out of the last 4 was better based on the qualification system. So they left it up to randomness. It's a fair way to go about it. It will consequentially lead to weird round 1 matchups and can be seen as unfair for certain players. I'm of the opinion that if you're going to a tournament, you need to be ready for anyone. It's double elimination. So even if it's unfair for the first round, you have no excuses if you lose the bottom round. So I personally think it's fine. And I don't think that it should be used as an excuse in any capacity. But if there's any, I can definitely see the other side that the first round, it can be a little unfair and it can feel a bit weird. But besides that, I think it's fair game for everyone.
What do you think about the best ofs?
Yeah, so as far as best of 5 versus best of 7 and best of 9, I personally love that we have different stages for the tournament, because best of 5, I think anything can happen, especially at the top level. Best of 7, best of 9, it's very rare that you lose a best of 9 and you were the better player of the day. You're not going to get unlucky and lose the best of 9. You could get unlucky and lose the best of 5. That's why double elimination makes it fair. But best of 9, you're not going to get unlucky, So I love the fact that you have a best of 9 finals, and I like the fact that you have a double elimination with a best of 5 start. So upsets can happen, and it's kind of all up for grabs.
What opponent are you most looking forward to playing against?
Ooh, playing against. I feel like I'm excited to play against someone like Viper. I haven't played him in the last. I don't remember the last time I played Viper actually in a tournament. So I feel like it's about time I play against Viper again. And I would say I'm excited to play against someone like Mr. Yo and ACCM because we rarely get to play on 0 ping. So I think, you know, one of those 3 would be nice.
What do you think of the map pool, and does this kind of favor you?
The map pool is where I can get a little bit of, maybe it's, I don't want to say I'm negative about it, but you know, where I'm not the most excited about it potentially. I just don't like that there's no new maps. We're playing maps that are all classic, and that's not what gets me the most excited as a player. I love when there's new maps and I get to really explore the different options. It feels fresh. The older maps, more classic maps, have some charm to it, but I feel like a lot of what we're going to see is expected. But I will say, because there's some random civ bans, that's at least enough to spice things up. So it's going to be classic maps, maybe classic approaches, but you're going to have to do them with not the best civs, or not always the best civs, which feels like it could be enough to spice things up. So yeah, mixed opinions there.
What makes you kind of better than other players, do you think?
Okay, if I can speak freely, I would say that I think I have a really good sense of strategy, and I can play any civilization and any strategy now. And I don't know if that's true for all my opponents. I think some people are sticking more to their preferred play style, whereas I've kind of, over the years, really become a player that can play anything. And it's funny because a lot of times I'm notorious for things that I'm known for 3-4 years ago, like spamming Hussars and, you know, like my really fast micro and my speed. But nowadays what defines me is my strategy and my ability to play any kind of unit and any kind of composition. And I also think I have a mental edge over a lot of my competitors, just due to how I view competition and how I view practice leading into the competition as well.
How would you see yourself as an opponent?
I think the first step is that they have to believe that they can beat me. And I think that if they don't believe that they can win, which I feel like a lot of them don't, then it's just going to fall apart for them. So first step is belief. Once they can believe they can win, once they can believe that they can win, then comes the strategic aspect, then comes something that they can do in the game. And I wouldn't say I've got any specific holes in my game that they can take advantage of, but I think they just have to be well-rounded enough to be able to match me on a bunch of different maps and settings. And as far as, you know, if I can lose and, you know, can people beat me? 100%. I can easily lose. It's just a best of 5 like everyone else. Best of 7, best of 9, you know, someone can easily take that from me. They just have to bring the right energy to the table.
Do you have anything to say? The floor is yours, and specifically maybe to the community.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the community for you know supporting these tournaments, watching. Especially a special thank you to the people who come out to these LAN events, who come here. They come up to us, they say what's up. You know, they ask for some signatures. You know, they share a moment with us, and they also support our LAN events. This is very, very important to keeping this running long term. And I also think it's a great experience for them. Like, everyone who comes loves it. So special thanks to those people. But those who couldn't make it, those watching from home, also big thank you to to you guys, because at the end of the day, without the fans or the people supporting and watching, we're just a bunch of sweaty nerds playing, you know, video games in a back room somewhere. It's nothing special. It's the fans that make it special, and I just want to show some appreciation to them for supporting us.
Hi everyone, this is Gideon from Being Esports. We hope you enjoyed the Garrison and all of the content around it. If you want to help us in creating more of these amazing experiences for the AoE community, please make sure to check out the video description, where you can find links to our amazing merch, our event mouse pads, and our crowdfunding. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.